Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's Victory Road Unite Clash number 15. Yes, this has been one for the books, is what I've been saying all day. Wonderful, wonderful matches that we've seen. I am Dr. Kendo, and I'm joined by my friend Kandashi.
Both of these teams are really here to show us what they can do best. And if they happen to really secure down how this plays out, it is going to be interesting. So we've seen, Gatlu rotate onto the bird as well. We'll see if we're going to have a bird-to-bird matchup as we approach into this match here, and we will have a great match going into our grand finals here, best of 5 here for Pokemon Unite Victory Road Unite Clash number 15,
featuring GG Tour, of course. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, get your hype up there in the chat. Toon is just cycling on through them. Always find our way back to bird, huh? No, we're gonna go with the Sky non-dragon dragon, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, Charizard will be the choice here for Toon Slim. Really interesting, although Charizard, of course, has been a pick of Thea Sky Ruins. You even look at somebody like Artriu, who played Greedent like nuts. Well, she ultimately plays a mean Charizard as well on Thea Sky. So, my friends, this could be the all-out slugfest you've been waiting for, and I certainly hope it is, as we got Zervus back as our Eldegoss too. And, of course, we're going to possibly see Scizor, depending on the choice between Scyther and Scizor. A lot to keep your eyes on in this match. And that first match has begun here for our Game 1 of the Grand Finals. Nouns eSports, I should say, on the purple, Talibobo on the orange.
Yeah, this is going to be, once again, a great match between two giants throughout this entire matchup so far. So it is going to be interesting to see how they are going to go ahead and square off, if there are going to be any, surprises moving forward. Both of these teams are very familiar with each other, so it's going to be really cool to go ahead and see these teams go ahead and head off.
We want to thank Gamma in our chat being our first hype to throw down there. I feed off of it, okay? So definitely you guys throw it down here. But anyway, we got Geese. I can finally say the name correctly. Thank you to everybody in the chat earlier for that one. But yes, Nouns going to go ahead and make this lucky 13-13 right here early on.
Yeah, applying that pressure, and now you see Bruv trying to go ahead and wall off the rest of this and try to set up something for Gatlu. That's not going to be the case. You see Zervus and Zante just playing together, playing it nice and quietly back here. With the rotation coming in from Adesu, just trying to go ahead and zone them off, maybe even take a couple of the berries. We'll see if that is going to be the case. Scores coming straight through for Nouns eSports, keeping them off bay and making sure that they aren't getting the levels that they need. You already see how far back Zante and Zervus have to play. Geese getting pushed back a little bit by Toon Slim here. A totally opposite story that we have here up at top lane. Red Ball getting zoned out a little bit. Geese just trying to make sure the Dravix can't get these quick scores in. Trying to already stack up 19 and getting a little bit more going their way, 24 now. But yeah, Geese going to go ahead and take a nap onto the point. But Nouns applying quite a bit of pressure. Meanwhile, Talibobo Believers just trying to stay afloat here.
Gatlu's certainly making problems right here, and this is actually for two Pokemon that were very critical to fall right there. One of them being Charmeleon. We obviously discussed earlier on in this tourney that the path to becoming Charizard, a little bit long, a little bit arduous sometimes, and so having that central area free to yourself can be good. But also Bulbasaur, I mean, you got to think about Venusaur, any of those kind of Kanto starters. A lot of the starters got dealt this path, right? But at least over time, maybe a little bit of aid thrown their way. But another one that we saw earlier that was maybe not the same story was Eldegoss, actually staying as that Gossifleur for a long time, and that's where you actually can afford to maybe take your time on maybe leveling up in lieu of someone else doing so. So notice though, Gatlu still is applying the pressure as that bird and really just moving as fast as that bird can. I mean, because that's another thing about Dodrio. When you got that sprint gauge up, you are going to be a moving like Sonic the Hedgehog. You're going to be all over the map.
Yeah, they are eating up as much of the space as possible. As you see Gatlu not only keeping Zante and Toon down, but also just eating up more of the map. This is just something that Nouns has done in the past before. And then also get ready to set up a trap here. You do see Toon Slim getting brought down here, and now Adesu already hitting that level 9 versus Zante already at level 6. And it's just so much pressure that Talibobo has to deal with. And Nouns just making sure that they can't quite get their footing here.
You can definitely notice that Talibobo, it's like they had so much, I guess, freedom to be that immovable object that you were saying, right? Or I guess we should say the destructive force that they were in the previous games and stuff. And so now being met with Nouns eSport, which, you know, really they did throw down quite the brick wall in the face of their opponents today. You know, it's exactly as you described it in the start. This is what we're going to be looking at, folks. And so right here, Talibobo can get a few more points on the map, but obviously having to deal with an Eliki and some other things, you know, is making this a little bit more difficult. But hey, that was a nice 30 to be dunked in here from our Scissor. And then notice this is where our team fights go down. Toon threw down the Seismic Slam, trying to get in some of that damage, but is ultimately brought down along with 2 other members, and then 3 for Talibobo. You count them, tally them all up for Talibobo.
Yeah, now Nouns is applying more pressure here, going ahead and eating up even more of the space, and now they're making it really tough for Talibobo Believers to really get any form of farm going their way. They just got their Venusaur to level 9. Meanwhile, Nouns is starting to climb up, you know, level 10s at the moment. So I feel like once again it's going to be up to Talibobo to either play together, find a pick, and try to keep some of these bigger hitters down. If not, they can play together, just try to get a little bit more experience and try to match up those levels as quickly as they can.
At least this time when you think about the secret weapon of Toon as well. Wow, look at this. Now it's almost going to be securing Scissor there with those walls. Once again, just dangerous, bruv. But, like I was saying, that secret weapon of having Toon Slim, at least this time, if you are Charizard, that is going to be designed a little bit more to play together. If you compare it to something like Dodrio, right, where Dodrio or Greninja can play some of those more sneaky, or in the case of Dodrio, you're scoring on the back line. You know, you're kind of that one-off laner, perhaps, sometimes. And so, yeah, this is definitely making some interesting results, but it's going to be an uphill fight, I would say, for Talibobo comparatively when you look at that last game. So right now, yet another one of these team fights going for Nouns for the most part. So yes, they are going to see some drop until Toon Slim throws down that Seismic Slam and then gets a KO streak of 2 for his own. So never can speak too quickly, can I? But Bruv is right there to meet him. Once again, the commentator's curse. Again, it's going back the other direction. So Talibobo now dropping Toon.
Yeah, it's a really tough one for Nouns in order to just allow them to just walk in and do whatever they want. They've been eating up so much of the space. Talibobo doesn't really have a lot of time to farm up or level as quickly as they would like to. So Nouns is going to be able to secure this down real quick. Allow Aleki to go ahead and walk and possibly even work on the other Reggie down at bottom. But definitely making it harder for Talibobo really get any form of leveling or farm going their way.
That's right, your Reggie of choice down there on the bottom path would be Reg Ice right now, but Reggie Eleki is still trying to move, obviously throwing down some nets, trying to poke and prod at some people, but obviously we can see Talibobo is mounting that defense up against there, so pushing as well. Nouns back over here, all the way back to their T1, and so pretty nice push from Toon. It was maybe a good decision, though, to pull off of that and try to hit some of these other objectives. Kanashi mentioned farm earlier on. You know, we are going to need some of those wild Pokemon ultimately to stay toe-to-toe here with Nouns. A lot of them, obviously, everybody 11 is kind of your floor right now for Nouns, but clearly you're going to see Gatlu there at level 13, for example. So definitely some beasts to contend with.
Yeah, and both of these teams are definitely not out of it. They are getting the levels that they need, and they are trying to keep it as close as possible. Even though Talibobo has been on kind of the back foot for the most of this game, they are playing the game in terms of experience. They are getting a little bit going more their way, and we'll see if they happen to turn this around. One really good team fight could really sway this one way or another. So that's something that good teams will keep in mind as they slowly approach the final stretch here.
Yes, that final stretch, ladies and gentlemen, just about 20 seconds away. We see a lot more positioning, I would say, rather than just trying to secure anything last second, because there's no major objective, right? We don't really have a lot of those wild Pokemon on the field, and so this is where you start zoning it off. So they're going to get caught up in a team fight a little bit before that final stretch hits. We got that 3-2-1 before that bell will ding. There it is. Rayquaza is going to be talking to us, but obviously the announcer first got to say also we have a huge lead right here for Nouns. You're going to see that there are some full pockets on both teams, or at least close to it, for some of those Hundo Duncan to drop in. Toon Toon is going to be going for that target of Gatlu right now, but notice Red Maw here for the support. And so there it is, the Seismic Slam from Toon, going to be bringing it on over, and Zervus also here for the support. You need that Eldegoss to maybe keep this Charizard here in the fight, because obviously you can be picked apart as well as that Charizard, even if you're in the air from certain attacks. And so Geese now going to be throwing down the Power Nap, ladies and gentlemen. This is where you're going to see it. The Unite moves start flying, so we obviously are going to be trying to pedal dance on through here. The Showtime goes down as well, and so this Nouns team is trying to hold them off, even despite that one drop on their squad. Some scores attempting to go down, but no, they will be interrupted there on that top path. And so Zante right here looking for the bottom path score, maybe try to sneak that in amidst the chaos, but no, it does not happen. My friends, here it is. We have a huge lead yet again. We can see that, announcer friend, but that means that there's only a minute left, less than. So everybody, this is where the heat can turn up. Can Talibobo make something happen in just about 45 seconds? It certainly will be a tough one.
Yeah, they are now focusing down on the Ray. Can they go ahead and take this up? We don't know yet. You do see Nouns also applying a little bit of pressure back to this backport here, but Talibobo already picking off 3. That's going to be huge, as now eSports is just trying to stall them out. Talibobo is trying to find a way in. Can they do it? Adesu and Bruv are going to be the last 2 lines of defense here, as 21 seconds left. They're trying to go ahead and break this down, but here comes Adesu, going to go ahead and steal that up from Talibobo and snuff out their chance of trying to climb back into this match. Just the sneakiest T-Tar hiding in the bush this whole game. Going to be able to go ahead and take that out, play the defense, and make sure that they are going to secure that first game here. Now it's eSports going to be taking a 1-0 lead against Talibobo Believers here in our grand finals.
You notice Desu has that level 15 T-Tar. That was just insane, ignoring all the pokes and prods, the fire, the flames, all around that Tyranitar to try to take it down even after that steal, and nothing could bring it down. Desu was still standing at the end for a final score right here of 221 for Nouns to 83 for our orange squad here as Talibobo Believers. Can you believe it, is the question.
Yeah, that was a really tough match, and you see how well Nouns eSports was playing their defense throughout this entire time. They were just like, okay, well, Ray is not really a threat right now, so let's just make sure that we can play defense, make sure that they can't score on us. That's the only thing that matters. As you can see, literally since 6 minutes, nobody has changed anything. So just being able to take out that last bit of the Ray at the very end, just being able to secure that down. Everything was I guess it was like a really good defensive match. Both of these teams played really well in those last couple seconds here.
Certainly so. So, I mean, clearly when we look at that line graph, that was very well illustrated. But there we go, Nouns. You can obviously see Gatlu, you can see Adesu, but hey, even Bruv, you know, they're all pulling that 59, 62, 54K. This is all looking really good. And GYZ, Geese is how you say it, holding on down with that tank position. Gatlu also taking a lot of hits as that bird, so kind of interesting. Anyway, on the other side there, though, of course, Toon with that 64K, it was kind of all well dispersed right there for the damage dealt, but both of these teams certainly fighting tooth and nail, but Nouns showed that they came to play, my friends, and they are just menaces with those walls.
Nouns just taking a 1-0 lead, best of 5, still a lot of game to go.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Nouns eSports here, hanging out on our purple still. Talibobo on the orange, just so everybody can keep track of that. But notice we had a possible hovering over Buzzwole. I didn't think it was going to happen, though. But anyway, Toon Slim eyeing a lot of different Pokemon, hovering over our Charizard, and will give us that green check mark right now. We got Zante still holding strong as that Venusaur. Gatlu obviously is our 3-headed burb. It's looking nice. Adesu, that's the one you got to watch out for, of course, is that T-Tar last game. I mean, just an absolute unit, right? Withstanding the damage while dealing it back. Yeah,
and having that final last hit was really big as well. So I do think that is going to be really big heading into this match as well. Definitely going to be checking up every single bush when possible. I do like the idea of the Azu swap up here for Dravix. I think that might be a play, just in order to take the 1v1 fights and or deal some damage. Force teams to play in groups of 2 minimum to go ahead and prevent some of that damage from going forward. But I do think it's going to be a lot to look out for.
That would be the hope, and here we go. It is ready go for this game 2 right here for our grand finals. Nouns eSports on purple, Talibobo in orange. We're going to see probably very similar starting lineups here, except for, did we have actually our Larvitar in the central in the last game? I do not recall actually that was the thing. It might have been, but Adesu right there in our central area is going to go ahead and farm up. And on the other side, we got our Charmander, and probably hoping not to get interrupted, but it looks like we're going to see some early goals right here. Our Doduo friend, Gatlu, that's going to be for Nouns. Going to go ahead and get this early 6 on in here, but right now, only 30 seconds. It's kind of typical, right? And Bruv, once again, kind of pulling that same strategy as before. This happened very, very early on, maybe first 30 seconds last time too, was he steal the berries, go ahead and score just kind of in their faces, and then walk it back.
Oh, Sora going to be able to get out of there as soon as possible, just being a little bit of a nuisance, making sure that Adesu can't quite get the levels that they want as well. Kind of, you know, giving them a taste of their own medicine a little bit, honestly. Just being able to be there to steal experience is really big. So I think Talibobo had the right idea of just getting in there and making sure that they can't get what they want out of that fight there.
Yes, so the birds are down. Those are going to be the first birds. It's the Swablu and Altaria, and right now, the birds went down fast, but the Altaria is still hanging out. You can see a few scores dropped in here. Talibobo right now leading again. We're still very early on, so all of this is just kind of keeping an observation on that score, but make sure you note that anything can happen, especially between these juggernauts of teams. As you notice, Gee is going to be dropping down, and that is so low that you can almost taste it. And yes, with that Chef Snorlax Hollowware, I think they were.
Yeah, able to go ahead and get that Snorlax up. And now Talibobo Believers feel like they are applying a little bit more pressure than they were last game. Definitely making the adjustments and making it a lot harder for Nouns to really find some footing here. And hopefully Talibobo could continue this throughout this match. Maybe even find something else later down the line as well.
And look at that, Sora's still trying to be the Bullywhack right now with that Berry Hollowware, but ultimately, I think the Geese and Adesu certainly had their sniffers up because they were just waiting on that to happen. Certainly trying to cut off at the pass, and they will go ahead and bring Sora down once again, and then Zante will actually take down one of Nouns right here. That was Adesu. Kind of, that's going to be a little bit more critical too. And if you could take out GYZ, it was just a hit away. And so Geese, I'm getting used to saying it. But anyway, Geese hanging on by a thread will go ahead and survive this one.
That was a good rotation coming out from Zante in order to make sure that they could at least get the KO against Adesu. Make sure that the levels are getting a little bit pushed back and getting the levels up for themselves as well. That is going to be really important. Especially moving into these, you know, once again, Kanto starters don't really get their Unite move until level 9. So once you get to that level 9 number, it does become more impactful. So they're trying to go ahead and, you know, expedite that for the rest of the team here. As we do see Nouns eSports already dropping 1. Talibobo just getting ready to focus down the Regirock, and we'll see how well they play around it.
Like a rock, and so that Regirock probably go down for Talibobo unless we see a steal here from Bruv, but no, that will be right side team, so they'll get the defense, special defense. They'll also bring down Adesu right now on that goal, and so kind of making good work, I would say, in this small frame of the match at least. We obviously see Nouns is ahead, but this is actually a much closer game, I would say, at this point. Dravix, that'll be a very, very nice KO secured as well. Anybody that you can bring down from Nouns at any point in this match, I think will be very helpful, but also kind of stopping these juggernauts like Adesu. You know, you don't want that evolution of Tyranitar. If you can stop it, you can see that Toon is at level 10 right now, so if you can have Toon kind of snowball out of control as well, that'll look good. So all these are good signs, as Talibobo now even brings the score in their favor as well.
Yeah, I do like the way how Talibobo is spreading out the map, and now you see them kind of being the aggressors here. They have a little bit more space to play with, and is making it really tough for Nouns to really eat up as much space as they wanted to compared to that first game. Just because now they really have to figure out what they want to do as they are going to go ahead and start up the fight. That's exactly what they're going to do. Talibobo Believers just trying to go ahead and take out a couple here. Adesu going to drop as well. There's going to be 3 down on the side of Nouns eSports. Talibobo is going to apply that pressure. Zante trying to zone out, giving their team a little bit more time to go ahead and score in here. They're going to leave that with 15. We'll see if that is going to be played in along with the Reggie Alecki. We'll see if that is going to be problematic or if that is going to go ahead and help him out. We'll see.
It is certainly nice, although the one thing would be about that Alecki touching down is that would just be an overcap of 5 for sure. But notice that Reggie Alecki will go down, of course, to Nouns. It was going to be certainly kind of seemed like it was hand in hand for Talibobo, but Gatlu just came in there, like literally sprinted on in there and took it out from right under their noses. So here we go. Adesu is just kind of tanking everything like a rock as well. Going to go ahead and make these hits hit really hard, I would say, and then be brought down finally by that Venusaur, who's also been tanking down so much Zante. I mean, look at this HP regen. It has been absolutely wonderful. Masterclass case there for Venusaur, I would say, but also they did have the advantage of being able to stay on their goal, and then of course Azumarill bringing down with a KO streak of 3. So what a nice series of moves. Talibobo really staying on top of it, and certainly in a situation that might otherwise have proven to be much more difficult, but Talibobo in their capable hands was able to turn that around.
Yeah, making it really tough for them as they're already starting to focus down on the Registeel. If that is going to be the case, you do see once again Verdant Anger followed by the Seismic Slam. This time coming out from Talibobo, just applying that pressure, and they are going to go ahead and secure down the steal as they continue to push on forward. But yeah, the pressure from Talibobo now, they are comboing Unite moves, they are taking up as much space, they're getting farm, and Nouns feels like they are the ones who are a little corralled into a corner, trying to find a way throughout this the rest of this game here.
It's been really nice to see. I mean, Talibobo had to do something, right? And so they really did it. And it wasn't a huge change to the comp, but I think you called it with the Azumarill. You know, that was the main change there. But hey, you think up some of your strategies as well, and maybe if Nouns eSports kind of maybe has fault anywhere, you can take advantage of that. But notice the power nap down on the goal, so there will be no scoring here on this bottom goal for the time being. Then, of course, Bruv, as just a monster, has been tanking it on through. No matter what the nerfs and the updates bring to Mr. Mime, Bruv is showing you that you can absolutely wear that crown as that Mimey. And so looking great right now. Toon will go ahead and pick up some energy, maybe get a little bit more in those pockets right here. You can prepare for that final stretch, but obviously we can see on screen and just everywhere we've been spectating, there has been at least some kind of skirmish here. So it's not really going for either team, I would say, handedly, right?
Yeah, both of these teams are just kind of figuring out where they want to go. You know, 30 seconds until final stretch. They're just trying to figure out what is the best course of action here. You do see Nouns trying to score 40 into that front goal. That's going to be the case. They're also going to take Toon Slim, so they might be slow to rotate into the mid by the time that they get there. You also see Nouns slowly applying a little bit of pressure to top lane as well. See if they take the Alecki or if they just showed for positioning's sake, as they are going to start rotating around for the final stretch that is about to start right now.
And 3, 2, 1, final stretch. Rayquaza has appeared. We're struggling to keep up will be the alert that they see, but really this is a game that could go in either direction, certainly. The points are not out of control at this moment. Adesu will just go ahead and pick up a little bit more, get the buffs and everything from the Wilds, and then we're going to bring everybody in here towards the Legendary Pit. Notice the kind of zoning and the positioning. You have Talibobo Believers at all different stages, at all different chokes and whatnot. So Nouns is a little bit more clustered. They're going to converge on in right now, and so Rayquaza has been started. You can see that they are trying to hold them off with the blocks at the choke. Right here, Sora will come in and break through all the noise. Showtime goes down, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, it looks like Nouns is solid. They will go ahead and bring this on down. So Rayquaza has gone the way of Nouns, and with that, they can score in a 48 right here and maybe look at some hundo dunking if you got some full pockets in here. 32, and there it is, ladies and gentlemen. What a goal. 34, and then obviously at the end right there, breaking that goal here on the top. Bruv, very, very nicely done. And then you throw that down those goal getters, and look at that. Gatlu can just kind of add insult to injury right in the faces, underneath the noses of Talibobo. So Nouns is looking pretty strong.
Yeah, Nouns is just starting to find a little bit, especially after that Ray secure. They are able to just push on forward and apply a little bit more pressure, but now Talibobo Believers has got to find one more big push. If they happen to get one, that might be the difference between winning and losing the game, you know, taking it, evening up the series and or being down 0-2. So see if that is the case. Seismic Slam coming straight down on Adesu, trying to deal that damage through. Can they get the secure? Yes, they can. and now it is going to be on the rest of it. Sora dropping dangerously low, going to trade another 1-for-1 this time, and now Redmaw trying to go ahead and deal damage to Zervus, and they don't need it as the heavy slam is going to go straight through, pushing away the Azumarill out of the fight, and that is going to be it. Nouns playing, once again, a great offensive game, but playing defense, especially when it matters most.
That's the thing about this Nouns team. They can do it all, and they have a comp that is solid, ladies and gentlemen. So Talibobo is seeing it and feeling it. We'll get that final score for you here very soon. Just notice, of course, our little glitch that's been happening in the game today, but 424 for the side of Nouns to 260 for Talibobo.
Yeah, that is exactly how it ended up playing here. You did see the way how, Talibobo did play a little bit better. They had more levels going their way. They had experience moving forward, but once again, like it once again came down to how well Nouns is playing against their opponent. They played defense when they needed to. They're applying pressure on offense. They're making it harder for Talibobo to really like get in and start the fight in order to win these. So, the Nouns eSports still, a very organized team, same team that took them to Worlds. So, I wouldn't expect anything less here.
Their micro was really good, especially at the end there. You noticed that Nouns, they had that kind of triple gang up on that Azumarill, and it was just executed so brilliantly, of course, with Geese pulling down the block there, Snorlax. So, again, there's a reason that they got these results in this game. And so Gatlu right now wearing the crown, but everybody pulled their weight. I mean, look at this, 69, nice. That's going to be 69K from Adesu, and Gatlu at that 74. 63 Red Maw, very, very wonderful looking, and Toon over there on the other side at 94K. We're going to see some heavy hitters right there, but then a lot of other dispersed damage. Zante as well, very nicely done as that Venusaur. Kind of been a masterclass display of that today, so definitely if you are looking to get back into Venusaur, be keeping your eyes on Zante for sure. But overall, yeah, Kanashi hit the nail on the head. This Nouns team, they know how to play every which way.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like they have the advantage since they played so much together. So it's going to be really interesting to see how it's going to play into, the next match. If you're on the side of Talibobo, you are playing for your tournament life right now. Yeah. This is going to determine if you get another shot. But once again, being down 0-2 is not the end of the world. We've seen teams climb their way back as well. Plenty of time for Talibobo to really make adjustments and push on forward. You could put Nouns on the back foot as well, but meanwhile, if you're Nouns, I feel like you just take care of business. You play the way how you wanted to, and you're really controlling the map. And if they don't really have an answer for it, you just keep running. They know what they want to do. They know exactly what their game plan is. So we'll see if there is going to be any switch ups or anything moving forward, but I do think so far they have the right idea. I feel like this could be a really interesting match moving into the this last one potentially. This is game 3 of the best of 5. Currently, Nouns eSports having the 2-0 lead. We'll see if it continues on from there.
That will be Nouns eSports continuing here on purple, just in case it was ever any guesses. Talibobo here for our orange squad. It looks like we're still kind of rolling with these same comps except for Toon. There it is. Yeah, I was wondering. So he will actually check off on Glaceon, and I will admit I did not do my homework as a caster to see what happened to Glaceon in the recent updates. But I can tell you at least, especially when Thea Sky Ruins opened up for the, public, Glaceon was quite the menace. You go in Icy Wind and it was just destruction. So Toon, like we say, he can play anything. I certainly keep a lot of trust in Toon, but is this the pick? Ladies and gentlemen, find out, and we want to thank Katie for that raid. Thank you so much. We really appreciate that.
Yeah, there was nothing done to Glaceon until about 2 or 3 patches ago, where they increased the cooldown for Icy Wind. Not a ton, but just enough to apply a little bit of pressure moving forward. So I got the evolution wrong. I felt like there was gonna be one of some sort, and I guess we'll take it. If it happens to be Glaceon, we'll take the Glaceon. So that happens to be the play moving forward, and we'll see if that is going to be how Nouns and Talibobo are going to be facing off. Talibobo playing for their tournament lives, meanwhile Nouns eSports trying to secure the championship here with this game, so a lot at stake here.
As you say, Glaceon, I mean, we'll take any eons, right? I mean, it's been eons since we've seen an eon, so this is nice. Ladies and gentlemen, it looks like pressure on all sides right here. So you see Geeth maybe trying to steal some of this wild, but notice you gotta maybe try to rest and just make that life last as long as possible because you were absolutely overwhelmed by the numbers. And so right now that actually leaves an opening for Talibobo to maybe try to push back. Redmaw is standing strong though, staying firm to hold position on this goal, but obviously they can dunk in 9, 15, any of these kind of smaller point values, but 15 and 14 are looking pretty nice here when you're not even 2 minutes into the match yet. So we already got our Dodrio here ready. Gatlu is ready for some destruction. You can see it probably take place already. That sprint gauge is a-rolling and the move speed up. So Gatlu is ready, my friends.
Yeah, not only that, they're also taking up even more space wherever they happen to be. So Nouns eSports just really playing around at Sora. Going to be able to find Geese. Geese kind of returning the favor here. Two Snorlax battles in mid. Meanwhile, you know, Nouns just eating up more space. They're really keeping the Bulbasaur down, making sure that Zante can't really get what they need. So making it really tough for them to get the levels that they need, as Gatlu's going to go ahead and bring them down right now.
Yeah, it's tough because sometimes people will look at a Bulbasaur starting out a match and say, like, we want to make that Bulbasaur useless, you know? And so that really can make things so much harder, and that may actually be part of their targeting. Notice, of course, if you want to speak of targeting, wow, this Nouns team is doing really well on their 3-on-1s, and so right there, able to get several picks off. And they were pretty crucial because it leaves that opening as well. So even scoring in 3, even scoring in 2, that's going to do wonders. Of course, when you couple it with a 22, it looks even nicer.
Yeah, they just have so much space going down here as you have the second bird spawning up, dealing so much damage. And yeah, I feel like, you know, the Glaceon is getting a little bit of value here. But once again, like, the pressure that is coming out from Nouns is overwhelming to this point.
Toon right now, we can see, hopefully doing it. I think the thing about Toon Slim is that we know, obviously we've mentioned it several times, is that he can play anything, right? But I was kind of wondering if he was going to have that speedy, more aggressive type, but you're going to notice that Toon actually drops right here, and then you also look at the levels. And so currently Toon at 7 is a little bit out of character just slightly. Like, so a lot of the times we'll see Toon way ahead of the pack. Right now pulling up to 8. So that's fine and everything. I've seen Toon get out of a bind and things like that, but obviously keep your eyes on it to come. And meanwhile, Gatlu just picking him apart. I mean, this Dodrio, it is quite a scary sight when you've got someone like Gatlu right behind there if you're staring down many eyes. How many eyes total would that be? I don't do math, but that's how many you would be staring them down, right?
A lot. A lot of eyes.
Help me? Okay, thank you.
So somebody will figure it out. I can't count either. But here we go. We do have the fight going down here. Talibobo is trying to play defense against Regieleki and the rest of Nouns eSports as they apply that pressure forward. Now you see the push coming out from Talibobo, just trying to keep them off Sora, trying to make sure that they cannot get out of here. Toon dropping dangerously low. Meanwhile, Redmaw trying to deal that damage, but the sure hits coming straight through, as Toon is going to be able to secure that down now. Regieleki getting brought down by Talibobo. Good defense. Despite everything that is going on, Talibobo just trying to find a little bit more space to go ahead and farm up. Nobody in double digits quite yet. Meanwhile, Nouns just eating up more of the map, making it difficult for Talibobo to catch up and keeping the levels going.
Yes, if Nouns was to continue playing this way, you're going to go ahead and break down that goal. That's not what I was going to say, but ultimately break down that goal right here and power nap on this. So Nouns is just kind of throwing it back in their faces here for Talibobo. But I was going to say, if they continue to play this way, they are looking at that championship belt. We're just about to hit that 5-minute mark. It is still anybody's game, so do not let us, sway you. Notice the Verdant Anger went down. Toon will secure that KO right here as our Glaceon. And then, of course, we're going to see him pile up. Right now, they're actually dropping so many of Nouns' members that this may also leave an opening for Reggie Steele as well. After that hard-fought battle, you would hope that there would be no steals for that, right? So, yes, right side team, they'll gain that attack and special attack. Maybe throw in some scores right here. Yes, a nice 36 on that bottom path for Talibobo.
We'll see if they play full defense down here or if they start rotating back up the top to go ahead and deal with Aleki. But yeah, Talibobo made a really good heads-up play playing together, getting some crucial KOs down at bottom and then securing that Reggie for themselves. So Reggie Steal once again gives a special attack buff, special attack and regular attack buff for that entire team. So definitely something that they have to keep in mind. Meanwhile, Nouns is going to go ahead and secure down the Aleki. And we'll see how much pressure they can continue to apply here against Talibobo Believers.
You can see Zante has had quite the path to get back to this point, but now is at level 11 right there with Toon. Will actually drop right here to Gatlu, who is just applying so much pressure. It's insane. Will drop in actually on all 3 heads. So this is looking pretty good if you're Nouns. You know, you're sitting pretty at this moment. 250 to 93, it looks good for them, but you know, try to keep your eyes on the levels, keep your eyes on each individual player, of course, as much as you can, but then, you know, all these team plays. So Gatlu will go ahead and bring Toon down right here, just vicious, and then possibly be brought down if they can go ahead and get this birdie. So yes, it is 1 hit away, and that will bring it down. You saw Venusaur just in quite the rage to make that happen, and then finally Snorlax for the KO.
Yeah, popping that Verdant Anger, they are going to have enough time to go ahead and farm up that if they do have the time for it. Meanwhile, Nouns eSports starting to get in position for this Reggie down at bottom. We'll see if that is going to be what they want to focus on or if they are just going to go ahead and prioritize positioning. Things to keep in mind is besides Unite moves for Zante at the moment, Redmaw also needs their Unite move as well, so we'll see how they play this out. Once again, what is at stake here? Talibobo Believers can go home or they can either force another game by winning here. But if Nouns wins, they are going home with the championship belt. This is going to be a tough one as you see them scrapping over Reggie Rock. And it's going to go towards Nouns eSports because of the damage from Redmaw. So dealing the damage to Talibobo Believers, bringing them down at the moment as we slowly approach the final stretch here.
And it was not only Redmaw, it was also that power nap from Geese right there. So that was a wonderfully timed power nap, though you have to wonder about the final stretch. You know, do we need it? There was a trade-off, though, right? You take that Reggie, and then you be set up with, of course, a lot of Talibobo dropping at that moment. They will be back in time for that final stretch, so this is what it all comes down to for the most part. But notice how critical that was, right? To secure the Reggie Aleki, that's just going to create that pressure. It is going to touch down up there. You're going to have to leave it if you're Talibobo. So, ladies and gentlemen, here comes the skirmish. It's going to be the showtime. You're also going to get all sorts of other Unite moves all in the faces. And so Toon is just on a mad tear right here, but so is Adesu as that Tyranitar. What a goal is right. You're going to see on that backside, back central, of course. That's going to be Dodrio. Absolutely disgusting. Gatlu just 32, 32, 34 going on in. So this is going to be very nice. That would be a Hundo Duncan if it was any other character, just so I can say the words, right? But anyway, Redmaw, go ahead and secure down some of the buffs right here. And really, it's looking quite good for Nouns, Kanashi, I would say. Just with that about a minute left, Talibobo would really have to make the push of all pushes, I think, to turn this back around.
Not only would they need to make a push there, but they would also need to secure down Ray. And the way how, you know, Nouns is playing, they're just eating up so much of the map, making sure that there is no space to play this game. And Talibobo Believers are scrambling now. They're trying to bring down Gatlu, Toon Slim dropping dangerously low at the moment. Gravix trying to go ahead and chase down the rest of them. But now Nouns eSports is doing what they do best, and that is trying to divert attention away from where it really needs to be. It's like a good magic trick, hitting them with that sleight of hand, drawing the attention away from what is important as Bruv is about to dunk this Hundo straight into the main goal. And there it is. There's so much pressure, so much like the map control coming out from Nouns as the full-on pressure of Nouns eSports is being here on full display as Gatlu is putting in 11 at a time. Continuing on with that, Talibobo is just going to be dropping like flies. Nouns is slowly securing their victory here at Unite Clash number 15. Congrats to Nouns eSports and just doing it in such a dominant fashion here.
Certainly, that is the case, my friends. We're going to wait for that small little... Okay, I was going to say there's going to be a score glitch, but notice it does not happen this time, so we could see it in full glory, which is that 8:44 for a final score of the final game of the grand finals right here. Nouns taking the victory to 149 there for Talibobo. My friends, it is all over but the crying, I guess, but Gatlu at 339. Again, wasn't that like a duplicate score? I think Gatlu got that exact score earlier on, maybe. But yes, Bruv also holding it down, 174 points. Redmaw, 147. You saw some hundo dunking. You saw a lot of dunking, and it all tasted great. So wonderful job, Nouns. Great display.
Yeah, Nouns just playing to eat up all the map. Just make sure that they can't play the game that they want to. You see how much of a menace Gatlu is, and this once again goes back to his greeting kind of days where he would just kind of be wherever they want to be. And because of the way how Gatlu plays, it just applies so much pressure to not only Toon Slim, who's in mid, but also Zante, not really giving him any space to go ahead and farm up whatsoever. So by the time that like Nouns is getting into that end game, yes, you might have some of the levels going your way, but the amount of pressure and the amount of farm that you have lost already is really detrimental to the rest of this game. So you saw the way how Nouns really cracked it wide open. They were just creating diversions to make sure that people are not where they need to be and really dunking all that in. So once again, congrats to Nouns. Really good play once again by Talibobo Believers. We did believe, just didn't really work out in this last match. I do hope to see them later down the line as well, and see some really great games moving forward.
Toon Slim packing 87k right there on the damage dealt. Everything's looking very nice. Geese holding it down, 78k taken to tank that on through as a Snorlax. Wonderful job today as that Snorlax player. Certainly, if you're looking to see wonderful Snorlax play, I think you're looking at Geese, right? Sora as well, going in the, I guess, the direction of the Bully-lax more so, putting a lot of pressure in that central area and things. And Nouns was just ready for it, though, so they showed you actually how to counter such a thing. But yes, wonderful job. I appreciate both of these teams showing us their all, and really all of the teams today at Victory Road Unite Clash number 15.
Nouns really showing that they understand the map, they understand how they want to play this out, and they are going to go ahead and be the champions of VR Unite. As you see from this chart here, Nouns taking the victory here over Talibobo Believers, but didn't have an easy road. I mean, all the teams that really participated made it tough for everybody. There were quite a few teams that we are used to seeing that maybe dropped a little bit earlier, but lots of really good games moving forward in this VR Unite Clash number 15. So once again, congrats to Nouns eSports for taking it all home.
I've been Dr. Kendo. I'm of the Pokemon Master Kendo YouTube channel, and so it's just an honor to be here, and thank you to Victory Road and GG Tour for not only holding this, but having me to cast as many of them as I can be here for. So
this has been VR Unite Clash number 15, and we will see you on the next one.